Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Daria Reactions. I am Fred. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Excuse me. For those who are new here, let me explain. We are doing a reaction series of MTV's Daria. We'll do a full-on watch through of the individual episodes with nearly continuous commentary and discussion. Based on my general observations. Sometimes this does involve ripping the actual quality of the episode in terms of like animation errors and stuff. But this is, of course, because we are using the Daria Complete Series box set, not the original case. Those would know several weeks ago I replaced the original case with something better, with a much better and sturdier quality. Any which way, today we are starting season 4 of Daria, with the episode being a partner's complaint. I don't remember much about this episode other than it being an episode where they swap various characters around in terms of who they are partnered with. So I think it's in a way it's rehashing a way of a plot point from season 1 where Brittany ends up partnering with Jane and Kevin ends up partnering with Daria. But this one, I think it's like 3 pairings of characters that get swapped around. I think, but at the same time, I think somehow Kevin and Mac end up as a duo, despite the swapping around of partners and stuff. Anyway, we do the display capture. We turn the blurs on and off periodically to get around DMCAs. And because I tend to run my mouth over the course of the entire episode, you don't actually hear audio from the episode itself. This also helps in terms of, again, avoiding DMCA issues in case CBS, Viacom, whoever owns Daria these days decides to drop the hammer on my fat ass. So with that said, let's get into it. Partner's complaint. Neck bun. Oh yeah, that's right. Jane and Tom are still an item at this point. But Jane, this is another interesting shot here where we got seeing actual Jane's hair color, which isn't jet black. It's more of like a bluish. So this is either a case of the quality of some of the earlier episodes being wrong. Tom's car looks way too clean. Yeah, you would take that, right, Jane? Yeah, you would. Okay. Daria's still not thrilled with them being a couple, but changes the whole dynamic of stuff. You are a hysterical nutjob, Daria. That's why we like the show so much. Okay, this is another case. Kevin's here. We're actually seeing the actual, like, the outline instead of like the jet black. Brittany, you are smarter than Kevin. Kevin, you don't know what that means. But this is kind of unique here because normally I've made comments in previous episodes about the outline and the color textures being not being consistent. But if this is going to be the rest of the way going forward, that's actually quite cool in terms of acknowledging what the character's actual hair colors look like. Yeah, we got arguing and bickering going on here. Hey, Charles is in the background. We got to acknowledge up Chuck. Yeah, you will want some. Wait, wait, hold up. That is some serious 1950s and 1970s home economics bullshit in terms of having. Not everybody ends up in a relationship where they're making decisions with someone else. Jodie's hair is looking rather on par. There's none of the texture issues, but you actually see some of the lines for her hair a little bit there. Brittany's not happy. Jodie. And wait a second. Is Brittany an android? Okay, so Jodie and Daria end up as a pairing. Did they change? I don't know why, but it feels like Brittany's chin is actually a little sharp, comes to a sharper point. Budgeting a funeral. Go with budgeting a funeral. Is this the first time we've seen Quinn in a long sleeve shirt? It's not a bad look. We normally see her in the t-shirt. Methane powered hot tubs. Hank Hill would not approve of that. When you want to power a hot tub, you start with propane. Helen does not approve. The combination of characters is going to be kind of awkward, of course. Brittany's on a rant here, and I love it. Wait, what's this about horses and women, Brittany? Wait, what? Wait, that kind of took a turn there. Which is the easiest? Yes, your partner, Kevin, because that's the only partner you're going to end up with by the end of the series. Brittany has the superior intelligence. Something I'm actually noticing in terms of having the earbud, the voice actress for Brittany is slurring their words slightly. It is rather it is rather noticeable. Maybe it's just one audio channel, but it's there is a slight slurring. And oh, the bumpers actually changed for season 4. Oh my! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him now! He he is. This guy's coming off as a complete creep because he is a complete creep. He's a used car salesman. What is this? Jackie Childs from Seinfeld? Wait, Kevin ends up buying the actual car, doesn't he? Kevin, you are the salt of the earth. Jody's gonna tank this, isn't she? No, Daria is the outside person. She handles public relations very well. Good continuity there. Oh wow, this. Holy shit! Is like Jody's dealing with racism all for this. Yeah, Jody's pissed. Jody's mad and rightfully so. Unfortunately, being judged by a person's own merits doesn't even happen in the year 2024. Oh, holy shit! And Jody just like tried to use her father's name, and that does not please Daria at all. Yeah, that ain't Daria, Trent. Yeah, this guy's a creep. Uh, please let Trent punch him out. Oh boy. Daria is just like kicking back. Those are some great sofas though too. Big comfy pillows. And I have a nice big couch upstairs that I rarely sit on because I'm always in my office, but that's neither here nor there. Daria's going to call her out on her hypocrisy. Daria's dropping the hammer. Yeah. Yes, yes, she is calling you a hypocrite. Well, here's the thing with Jody here. Yeah, you're definitely done. But Jody, see, and this is why they wanted to somehow give Jody a spinoff while still calling the show Daria with a reboot. 'Cause this is actually will be the moral quandary what you have here with issue with trying to make Jody the main character. Damn, I'm in the mood for pizza all of a sudden. Why did she say Mac like that? Like Mac didn't do anything to you, Brittany. Yes, Mac didn't do anything. Brittany is right in that regard. Kevin, Kevin, you are an idiot. Yeah, Jody's gonna end up flipping back the other way, isn't she? Again, I'm always tempted to just like put some like padded walls down here in this office. It would just be awesome. She's reading a book with the name Billy, but Billy what? Daria seeming unhappy. It's really hard to tell. No, that Daria can hold on to a friend. She held on to Jane for basically with really no real arguments for over 3 years by this point in the series. Daria is not self righteous. She is often very righteous and right. Kevin's life is ruined, but he has the car. Yeah, she's right. Yeah, Daria like mellowed her response there. She mellowed it out enough. Daria, you were not wrong. You did not act like a clot. You were right. You know, I'm really noticing that the animation is actually for this episode is a lot better than a lot what was ended up in the back end of season 3. Yeah, of course she's with you. She's standing right there. Oh, that's sweet. They're very best friends. Kiss and make up. Back to the pizza place. The roll of the eyes for Daria in that shot was great. Jeez, Brittany's chin is sharp. They must have changed like the animation studio or something. Because there is some. Yes, you can. Punch him out, Brittany. We know you can. Yeah, okay. So first things uh first things first here. The overall animation for this episode certainly seemed a lot different, especially when comparing it to season 3, which it just really felt like some of the line work was a lot more defined, particularly when again it's really noticeable with characters who have like dark colored hair. In this case, Jane's hair being more bluish than black, and and Kevin's being more of a like a lighter shade of black, and it's kind of like a I would say like a dusty gray, like grayish. So it's like it's kind of weird in that regard. So, again, some of the pans and zooms was also uh pretty well done. They're walking with the past the ending shot with Jane and Daria walking past the lockers looked surprisingly a lot sharper. So I kind of wonder with season 4, did they change? I would have to look it up. Did they change animation studios, or did someone actually started to pay attention to to the work on the animation to make sure things didn't look as cringy at times, where like colors being swapped out, or like things being a completely different shade within the same shot. Again, we go back to the to Jane's edition, the final episode of season 3, where you end one act. Jane's hair is completely a mess, is like total bedhead, and then the beginning of the next act, quote unquote, returning from the commercial break, her hair is fine. It's as it normally looks. So I'm really wondering if somebody started to apply a little more, uh, let's say, quality control on how the episodes look, because there was no excuse for that. There were a lot of the animation errors and issues that we saw, uh, particularly in season 3. Now, again, I know there's the insert. That's it. That comes with the box set, which says, with this collection, what this collection does have is all the episodes in the highest quality, most complete versions that could be found. So again, it raises that in and of itself raises a ton of questions. Now, I'm also trying to think, when did The Simpsons formally switch from more of the hand-drawn style to like more of the digital cell shading form coloring? Because that was coming a lot into vogue. It like because you had like what Wind Waker, the Legends of the Wind Waker had that, and you had a lot of video games like what was it, 13 I believe it was, that stood out because of that. Like that cell shaded look was really starting to come into a vogue, and you had like a lot of like stuff on Cartoon Network. It certainly had like more of a clean uniform look in terms of how the where you could definitely see the outlines of certain shapes as well as like the different subtlety in colors, particularly like dark colors like black was like, okay, these things there are a slightly different shade of black. So I'm thinking that's around the same time period where this episode premiered. So I'm trying to think back to episodes of like the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, and Johnny Bravo, which would have been airing on Cartoon Network at the same time as the season 4 of Daria. In terms of other things about this episode, the whole hypocrisy with Jody, like, oh well, it's like she gets quite self-righteous and stuff regarding like the bank loan officer. It's like assuming that Daria will be like the safer person because there's like her father the co-sign because Daria is white, and then Jody going around into the second bank and making sure that that bank loan officer knew exactly who her father was, and then her getting mad about Daria calling her out on the bullshit that she on her hypocrisy is is kind of a bit far fetched, but that's but it does bring up as to why, like, okay, how the hell do you do a spin-off episode, a spin-off series uh, called Daria, and then focus it on Jody, who is really going to have two modes of a character where, like, she will present things on a certain format, though, but then she doesn't really stick to her guns in order to get what she wants. There was another episode. I think it was it Mauled? They go to the mall and and everyone ends up getting like a coupon or something because of how Jody speaks to like the mall managers and such. It's like Jody can be easily bought off. So she definitely becomes like more of a morally gray character where you would think that she and Daria will be almost on like that same equal standing, but the big difference between the two is that by and large Daria sticks to her guns, and what we've seen with Jody is that Jody will not. Like Jody's ambitions will lead her to cut corners to get ahead, and like no matter what the cost. That is kind of like her. Well, actually, going beyond everything, that is her biggest characteristic on a lot of things. The whole thing with Brittany and Kevin arguing and such is a nice little through line. It does give the excuse as to why Brittany ends up teaming up with Jane, and which by proxy leads because Brittany was going to uh, seek out Jody's help for the project. So you kind of get like that a nice little unique dynamic there. And I'm still trying to understand how the hell does like Brittany's scenario that involves her going down to the Bahamas and meeting a guy named Andre, and that saying that like with how much he knows about horses means he knows a whole lot about women. It's like I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. It's not even 11 o'clock in the morning at the time I'm recording this, so it's like I am just perplexed by that. But it does raise the question: is like exactly why are Brittany and Kevin still are actually a couple beyond just their roles of him being the QB, the quarterback of Lawndale High's football team, and Brittany being the head cheerleader. And staying on Brittany, Brittany has always had like kind of like a sharp face, like where her head is kind of heart shaped. And so her chin does come to a point. Is that there are sometimes where it's more of a rounded point, but there were shots in this episode where it looked like it came to like a very sharp point. Like she could like pierce blocks of ice just by doing this to it. Like test your might. She will use her chin. It's like her chin was so damn sharp. It's like she could she could break boulders with it like a pickaxe. That's how sharp her chin was. Trent's reaction to seeing Brittany in Jane's room was actually quite great. It's like, hey, Jane, hey, Daria, whoa. So it was like great reaction there, and a great little use for Trent to appear in the episode. The episode opening with Tom, and again, some of the conflict revolving around Tom is kind of unique. Him driving by and picking Jane up and offering them a ride when Daria was like this, like 2 houses away from where she lives. Kind of a dick move, and again, it gives a reason for Daria not to like Tom at this point, and not to mention we have Jane. Literally, the opening of the episode is Jane gushing about him. So let's assume that the end of season 3, where Tom is introduced and he and Jane become a couple, is like maybe a few. And in the beginning of season 4, how much of a time gap would that be? Because at this point in the series, because we know at the end of season 4, that is essentially the end of Daria's junior year. So how much time passed between seasons 3 and 4? And which essentially is the overall age gap between Daria and Quinn. Because if we're assuming Daria is a junior going into Lawndale High at the beginning of season 1, that puts Quinn as a freshman. Because that's the only way the overall age scaling works going forward. Because there wasn't, Daria didn't really have, there was no real Christmas episodes, right? They had the holidays episode, but there was no formal. There was no real formal holidays big focused beyond just the episode involving the characters of the holidays and Holiday Island essentially being high school. So Daria has to be a junior at the beginning of the series, and everything up through the end of season 4 is her junior year, essentially. And then season 5 is essentially a speed run of the senior year. So it's things to consider. But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Next time we do an episode of the Daria reactions, as will be the episode Anti-Social Climbers. So till then, like, comment, subscribe if you're so inclined. Tighten your friendship bracelet. Stay safe. We'll see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.